First step, concealer. Do I need more concealer? I guess we all need constantly more concealer. I have two concealers. One is the basic one, a bit pink, to get rid of the dark lines. And I usually let that sit in for a bit, but what does he say? Dot on dark circles under eye. Blend into skin with finger number 4. What did I do? Finger number 3. Okay. Finger number 4. Now I will add my second one. This I've been using for a long time. Circle Delete from Jane Iredale. Has 2 colors, and I take both out and blend it a little bit. Fourth finger. Dot on dark line. I always do it here as well because I get this quite bluish, and that's, I suppose, how you also know you're a cool type, when you get a blue shade under your skin here. Next step, foundation. Put a dime-sized amount in palm of hand. Dab a few spots around face, including eyelids. Wet the sponge and rub foundation into skin. Use sparingly. Skin should show through. Now that appeals to me because I like a natural look. And here is again Jane Iredale. I've been using this Dream Tint for years. It's a tinted moisturizer. And so I dot some in my hand, face including eyes, right? So let's do that first. And then dab spots. Now this I really love. It's from RMS Beauty, and I do believe there is a big difference in sponges. I was just on a holiday and I forgot this one, and I bought a cheap one, a purple one, and it was a lot harder, really an unpleasant thing, and this is a little bit more natural as well. RMS Beauty, right? RMS Beauty. Great little sponge. Okay. So you see I've not used much. Did I go on the eyelids? Maybe not. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Oh dear. Now I've got some more. You can never have enough on your nose. My nose is always a bit pink. Okay, just spreading everything I've got. It's such a lightweight one, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, I remember when he said also here, like really everywhere, whereas I might do it a little bit more local, but he said everywhere. Okay, that's that. He used a powder which I didn't find in a clean brand. I bought this cream blush, but he says to put it, apply underneath cheekbone, whereas I usually put it really above. Underneath cheekbone, starting at center of eye and sweeping upwards into hairline. So I think what he means is this is under cheekbone, it's very low, and then go up, right? Like that. Blend, of course. Use sparingly. Blush should look like shading, not bright color. And then I use this thick bit of this sponge. I might have used too much actually, and it's on my temple. Not ideal. Oh my. little bit less, turn it around, take off some. Oh, that's way too much, because probably there was still some from this morning underneath as well. But I don't know, too much, a little bit too much. Take off more. What to do with this bit here? Really not meant to be that high, I'm sure. Anything else about the blush? Okay, well that's it already for the face. But actually I remember, oh no, I forgot something. I'm sorry, I forgot. He used on a few steps translucent powder, and that actually had to be done after the foundation and before the blush. Shake very small amount into palm of hand. Okay. Yes. Dip brush into hand, shake excessive off. Dab spots onto face and blend into skin. Rubbing brush vigorously in circular motion. Buff face until matte, but use sparingly. Okay, this like this. And then quite a lot. Use sparingly, but still matte is the idea. I'm just not gonna go onto the blush. I'll just leave it like that. What do we think? Oh yes, circular motions. We want more circular motions. Okay. Oh yeah, also on the eye. I remember me saying on the eye as well. Yes, on the eye as well. Okay. Eyeshadows. So, if you're into Kibbe, you probably know that he makes these. So these are the colors for a summer, because I'm a summer, and then he writes A, B, or C next to the color. I'm currently wearing like that, I would say, or this, and both it says A in front of the blue. And A, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Now, yeah, that's kind of what I got, and it's already like a little bit damaged, but luckily he wrote the names of the colors and not just little swatches, because they would just disappear. So the eye look for A is first to go all over the eye, which he calls the highlight, and we use a brush with that, and the color is champagne. Now, I was looking for a clean version of powder makeup, and that was not easy in pinks, not very trendy at that time, last year, I don't know about now. So I ended up in a Korean supermarket in New York and bought this Dasique, which had all these cool tinted pinks. And now, which one would you think is champagne? I am thinking, I don't know if you can see it well, but I'm thinking this one. Or this, but that has shimmer in it. Shall we do this one shimmer free? Eye sponge applicator. But I have a little brush. Dip into product and rub into hand until crystals are crushed. I actually have never done that, so I'm taking some of that. I will put it onto my hand. And yeah, crushing the crystals, I guess. Okay. It's so lightly pigmented that it's almost like there's no color, but then it's only the highlight, of course, as well. Okay, and then the next thing, apply on entire eyelid. Corner to corner, lash line to brow. Now, I remember being surprised with that, because I always tend to do that more locally, but let's do that corner to corner, and there's hardly anything. Corner to corner. And brow till lash line. Okay, so that's how you actually use up these eyeshadow palettes. They never seem to go, I guess because I just use it very, very little. Okay, let's see. This is one eye. I feel I have to use more, but then what I remember from his, let's say, tutorial was that everything is used quite sparingly, you know. It wasn't like crazy. So that's only one eye. God, maybe I'm using too much, I don't know. I guess so, because it's going all over the place. That's one eye. Quite nice. Maybe I'm actually gonna get into this. Okay, the other eye. Try to crush the crystals so it's soft. Okay. All over the eyelid. I suppose I'm using the right brush for this, but it feels a little sturdy maybe, I don't know. It's a chain Iredale brush as well. Just kind of the clean makeup brand that I have had here in my surroundings, readily available, and so that's what I've been buying. Okay, that's already a different thing. Okay, next step is, of course, the orbital bone. Again, dip into product, rub into hand until crushed, apply in center of eyelid on top of iris. Now for the A look for summer, the orbital color is mauve. Now, what is exactly mauve? Mauve, here, I don't know if you can see it, it almost looks a little bit orange, which is impossible because orange is the least flattering for summers. So I've just kind of been a little bit experimental with this because I'm not entirely sure what would be mauve here. What do you think? I would say these here in the middle, and I'll already check the next color, which is heather. How to find mauve and heather on this. With this, I'm in trouble. Mauve, heather. Heather is definitely more grayish purple. So maybe heather can be this and mauve can be that. Okay, thanks for just being there and opening my eyes to the solution. That's how it often works, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm using this one. This is gonna be a little bit darker. I still don't really see much, but hey. Come on, Korean pigment. Give me some. Okay, that is what I think is a little bit of mauve in the middle, though maybe slightly overly minimal. I remember when I did it with him next to me, it was more pink and like, okay, the next one was heather, and that one we do angle liner. Dip into product, rub into hand, crushed, and much is erased. Apply first to outer edge of lid, starting our outer corner and working in until it meets the orbital color. Bring color from outer edge of eye up to bone and blend inwards, on top of bone, not increase. Right, I remember that. Bring in about halfway. So it's been a while since I've done this, as you can tell. Actually, I'm gonna get this color because the other one is just not doing anything. We need some color on here. I remember it being like this. So that's like a little triangle up until the orbit color. Oops, I'm in the crease. And then, if I remember, really on here. So on the bone and not in the crease here. And like until here. Oh boy, I'm not doing a good job with all the crystals, they're all over here. Okay, I guess he would say that's already too much. So a little bit less on the other side. So here, a little triangular shape till the orbit and up on the bone, but not in the crease. Of course, very important now is I hope this will be okay. I couldn't find an eye pencil in grape color. I haven't been able to find that. Instead, I do have a tiny brush here, and I'm gonna find the closest to grape, which is not really here. So I'm gonna make a mixture, let's be creative, of brown and purple. And I'm gonna put that here. What is the, underneath the bottom lashes? Underneath the bottom lashes, starting at the outer corner, sketch a soft line inward about 3/4 of the way. Above the top lashes, starting at the outer corner, sketch a soft line about halfway inwards. Okay, wish me luck. See, I never like that look on me, that's why I don't buy it. So the top was halfway and the bottom was 3/4, so that's quite far. And the top is halfway. Yeah, so I always feel this is overpowering for me when I do lines like that. And this is even lighter than grape. Now let's move on to the blending part. So shake powder into palm of hand, dip brush onto product, shake off excess and powder over blush to soften edges. I'm going to use that. And he just said like that, which kind of takes away a lot of what you just did, but I suppose that's the idea. This doesn't look very blended. I always thought you can't blend enough, but when we did it together, it was just like dum 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 dum, ready. And I said, ready? And I said, yeah, ready, done. Then, brow fix. Do my brows need fixing? Brush, a groomer, using bristles. Brush, brows straight upwards. Okay. Using small amount, dip brush into color and apply sparingly into eyebrow to even color. I bought this from RMS Beauty. I had never done anything to my eyebrows before meeting David Kibbe, but I was looking for this because that's his advice, to use a powder rather than something else. And this is a cool tinted brown. Is it brown? Yeah. Dark brown. So the idea is that you take some of the product, not excessively, and then color in where it's a little bit more sparse. I have these like blonde eyebrows here as well, so I'll take these along. So I remember that he said not too much, not too much. Maybe I've already done too much. Let's try this. I just find it quite difficult to gauge with this brush. I mean, it's a good brush. It's a real brown line brush, but don't know. I think I just like to leave my eyebrows do what they do, what they're best at. I feel like I don't want to interfere too much. Anyway, let's move on. Ooh, that is a bit more stark. I mean, it's just because I'm not used to it. Okay, brow fix. Apply on top of color, brushing upwards. This sets color and finishes brow. Now that I have used, and from RYE Beauty, brow grooming serum. And so this is supposed to set this. Mascara. Now I rarely use mascara. Dip into product and apply one coat to each eye. I have again this from Jane Iredale. It's not sponsored, by the way, it's just what I have. It's a dark brown one. The only thing I tend to do is, I know that's more coating, but oh, there we go. I only do, what are these called? I do that. That's kind of enough for me. Okay, next layer. He wants no natural lip color showing through. Coat brush generously with color. Here we go. I guess you're more economical when you do it this way. I find it sometimes quite hard to see where my lip stops. Do you have that? It's like the edge is not super defined. A little bit more. He said more bright than you would think is proper. Okay, let's go. Now this is quite matte. The surprise is coming next. Blot by biting into tissue. And now the finale, lip gloss. And he said you can never have too much lip gloss. And I think that applies to anyone, not just me or Summers. Apply generously. It's even written on here, you cannot use too much gloss. Result is going to soften color and finish makeup. Let's see. I use pure castor oil often, but I will use now this one that I bought in New York as well after the styling. So-called green, but it has phenoxyetol in it. Gensee. Is that a funny name or what? So it's colorless, but it's just having this color from before. I remember when we had a drink at the end of the styling, I was sitting there with Susan first, and she asked a straw for her drink. Because of course, when you have lips like this, you need a straw everywhere. I guess with my natural vibe, I would then travel around with a straw, a metal straw for instance, and just take it out. So first of all, what do you think? And can you see that for me this is somewhat much, and I prefer to not do, I do it more, I don't know, is that a European way or a French way, or but just to have some and then like dab it on, barely there kind of look. And it can be with a dark color as well, but not that defined. I don't like that look. I don't like it on anyone. But this is the tutorial. Are there some cute notes at the end? Yes, it says, now you are gorgeous, go forth in glory. Oh, okay, so what did we do? Champagne, mauve, heather, grape. And we made a mess. We really made a mess.